NASA's worst nightmare is here. The ISS is crumbling faster than planned. Technical failures are mounting. Time is running out. While China's Tiangong shows off cutting-edge tech, America scrambles for answers. 4 commercial stations are being built to replace the ISS, but only one has the size, cost, and power to crush China's lead. Starship Station. Can a rocket really become our next space home? Or will the US lose the space race forever? Let's dive right in. Here's what NASA won't put in bold headlines. The International Space Station has a hard expiration date. This isn't speculation, it's engineering reality. After over 2 decades in orbit, the station's structural integrity is declining. Maintenance costs surge annually. Technical failures multiply monthly. The ISS was never meant to last forever, and forever is running out fast. While America patches aging hardware, China's Tiangong station demonstrates what modern space infrastructure looks like. New modules, advanced systems, room for expansion. For the first time in decades, America faces a real competitor in space, and the gap is narrowing. 4 commercial space stations are racing to answer that question. Each brings different strengths, different timelines, and very different chances of success. Let's examine them honestly, starting with the long shots and building toward the genuine contenders. On paper, Orbital Reef looks phenomenal. Blue Origin and Sierra Space collaborating. Inflatable modules that compress for launch, then expand to massive volumes in orbit. The technology is genuinely innovative. Sierra Space has delivered on their end. Their inflatable habitat uses Vectran fabric, demonstrably stronger than steel, layered with Kevlar for impact resistance and Mylar to prevent leaks. During full-scale pressure tests, the module exceeded NASA's safety requirements by significant margins. The engineering works. Blue Origin's progress on the core module remains virtually invisible. Their resources appear divided between orbital rockets, lunar ambitions, and multiple competing priorities. Meanwhile, Sierra Space advances alone, creating an imbalanced partnership where one company builds while the other stalls. Could Sierra Space pivot and partner with SpaceX for launches while using their own Dream Chaser spacecraft for resupply? Technically possible, but that's restructuring an entire project, not executing an existing plan. Orbital Reef has innovative technology. What it lacks is unified momentum. Until that changes, this station stays 4th on our list. Axiom Space chose the safest path possible. Build your station while attached to the ISS. Then separate once systems are proven. It's methodical. It's intelligent. It minimizes risk. Axiom has been running crewed missions to the ISS, accumulating operational experience that competitors lack. Their partnership with SpaceX means proven launch capabilities via Falcon 9 and crew transport via Dragon, systems with established track records. The station design shows thoughtful planning. Habitation modules inspired by Japanese capsule hotels prioritize comfort in confined spaces. A 360-degree observation room offers unprecedented views. Specialized research and manufacturing facilities expand scientific capabilities. The power thermal module and airlock complete a well-rounded facility. Financial constraints have slowed development. Personnel challenges created setbacks. The company's simultaneous focus on spacesuit development diverted resources. Plans were scaled back to 2 modules before being revised again to accelerate deployment. Axiom will likely succeed. Their approach is fundamentally sound, but likely and eventually don't win space races. China expands Tiangong steadily, adding capabilities while competitors finalize designs. In that context, cautious becomes slow. Safe becomes second place. For a commercial venture serving tourists and researchers, Axiom's timeline works fine. For securing American leadership against an aggressive competitor, it's not ambitious enough, not fast enough. This is where the conversation shifts from planning to building. Vast space isn't trapped in design phases or waiting on funding rounds. They've completed construction of Haven 1, their first module. Not nearly finished, actually done. Right now, engineers are integrating internal systems and conducting pre-launch tests. The scheduled launch date? May 2026. If VAST hits that target, they become the first commercial space station to reach orbit. Not first announced, not first funded, first operational. That milestone matters enormously. VAST has stacked multiple strategic advantages that separate them from competitors. Partnership with SpaceX. Rather than developing new launch systems, VAST leverages Falcon 9, a rocket with over 200 consecutive successful missions. Dragon spacecraft, already proven through years of ISS resupply and crew transport, handles logistics. Plus, VAST is integrating Starlink, giving the station the same high-speed connectivity that's transformed communications on Earth. Astronauts will have better internet than most cities. Modular expansion architecture, Haven 1 provides 45 cubic meters, a starting point, not a ceiling. Haven 2 modules double that volume. The expansion roadmap is concrete. Launch 4 Haven 2 modules in linear configuration, then rearrange them into an X-shaped structure around a central hub once Starship delivers the core component. Later phases add 4 more modules. This isn't vague future capability. This is documented, scalable architecture with clear implementation steps. Human-centered design. VAST recognizes something previous stations overlooked. Astronauts aren't robots. They need more than life support and workstations. VAST's focus on ergonomics, livability, and quality of life represents a fundamental shift in station philosophy. Creating an environment that feels human, not just functional, matters for crew performance in long-duration missions. VAST has execution. They have partnerships. They have a realistic timeline. By conventional metrics, they should rank first. So why don't they? Because there's a concept so radically different, so vastly more capable, that it operates in an entirely separate category. Most people see Starship as just a rocket. That's a critical misunderstanding. Starship was always designed as a platform. Transportation today, habitat tomorrow. Now that vision is becoming engineering reality. Let's establish the facts with specific numbers, because this is where Starship stops sounding like hype and starts sounding like destiny. Starship stands 50+ meters tall with a 9-meter diameter. The nose cone section alone provides 18 meters of usable height. Even accounting for the tapered shape, that's approximately 1,000 cubic meters of habitable volume, roughly equivalent to the entire ISS from a single launch. The ISS required 40+ launches over 10+ years to assemble. Starship matches it in one flight. Version 4, coming soon, extends the vehicle to 61 meters. More height equals more space. But here's the multiplier effect. Once in orbit, propellant tanks can be removed or repurposed for habitation. That modification unlocks over 3,000 cubic meters inside one Starship, triple the ISS capacity. The 9-meter diameter isn't just about volume. It enables internal radiation shielding, layers of material protecting crew from cosmic radiation. That's essential for long-duration missions that smaller modules simply cannot support safely. Need more capacity? Launch additional Starships. Convert them to habitation configuration. Connect them together. SpaceX has already conceptualized wheel-shaped stations, multiple Starship modules arranged around a central hub, rotating to generate artificial gravity. This isn't science fiction. It's modular architecture using proven docking systems. Each additional Starship multiplies capacity, housing, labs, manufacturing, storage. The configuration possibilities are virtually endless. This is where Starship doesn't just compete, it demolishes all alternatives. Stainless steel construction instead of exotic alloys. Methane oxygen propellant instead of expensive hypergolics. Rapid manufacturing using automotive-style production techniques. Full reusability, land the booster, land the ship, refuel, launch again. Elon Musk projects launch costs could drop to $2 million per flight. Even if the real number settles at $10 million, 5 times higher, the economics are revolutionary. Building and launching a complete Starship station might cost $100 million total. The ISS cost $100 billion and houses fewer than 10 crew members. That's not incremental improvement. That's a 1,000 times cost reduction. At that price point, space stations stop being singular national megaprojects. They become infrastructure you can afford multiples of. Research station, manufacturing facility, tourist destination, Mars mission staging point, all separate, all affordable. Starship just completed its 10th test flight successfully. Version 3 production accelerates through 2026. SpaceX's near-term objectives are concrete: achieve stable orbit, demonstrate 100-ton payload capacity, prove in-space refueling. Uncrewed lunar and Mars missions are on the active development roadmap. This isn't wishful thinking, it's systematic engineering progress with test flights validating each advancement. The gap between rocket and station narrows with every launch. Critics argue Starship Station is too ambitious, too risky, too far off, but consider the alternative: matching China with incrementally better versions of 1990s technology. China didn't build Tiangong just for science experiments. They're establishing infrastructure, permanent presence, manufacturing capability, military high ground. Control of low Earth orbit translates to control of satellite deployment, space-based industry, and strategic advantage. America cannot afford to simply replace the ISS with something comparable. That strategy accepts parity when dominance is still achievable. VAST gets America back in the game quickly. Axiom maintains respectable presence. Orbital reef remains theoretical. SpaceX has already revolutionized spaceflight multiple times, landing orbital boosters, breaking launch monopolies, deploying the world's largest satellite constellation, creating America's only operational crew vehicle. Betting against their ability to convert Starship into a station isn't skepticism, it's ignoring pattern recognition. The real question isn't technical feasibility, it's whether America has the vision to back the boldest option when safer alternatives exist. Because in space, like everything else, you either lead or follow, and the clock is already ticking. Here's the bottom line: the ISS is dying, and America faces a choice. Replace it with safer, smaller stations, or build something so revolutionary that China spends the next decade catching up. 4 commercial stations are racing to launch. VAST delivers first in 2026. Axiom builds cautiously. Orbital reef stays theoretical. But Starship Station? It offers 1,000 cubic meters in a single launch, matching the entire ISS at 1/10,000th the cost. The ISS cost $100 billion over a decade. Starship could do it for $100 million in months. That's not iteration. That's transformation. This is exactly why the next 3 years determine America's future in space. VAST launches soon. Starship testing accelerates. Real hardware, real timelines, real competition with China. What's your take? Is Starship Station the answer? Or should NASA stick with proven designs? Drop your thoughts below. I read every comment. If this analysis added value, hit that like button. It helps more people find this content. Subscribe to Space Hub for deep dives into every major space development. And turn on notifications so you catch our next breakdown when these stations actually launch. The space race is back, and this time we're watching it happen in real time.